it's such a new technology, and it's very hard to see like where it might go or what it could do. I kind of see two paths. One path's kind of scary for path two. So path one that I see, that I hear a lot in the VC space or in more advanced spaces in the AI, is that a lot of what we do as engineers are going to get commoditized and automated, and the price of that's going to go to zero, and we're not going to really need a lot of engineers anymore. That is possible. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not. In our current market environment, it's very difficult because you do need someone with a sign, a stamp and a seal to go ahead and approve what that black box is spitting out to you. But it's a possibility. And the second path that I see is that we embrace this technology as an industry, and we find ways to utilize it and to compete in a marketplace where we are able to create products and projects that are better than option one. And I think right now we're able to sort of creatively problem solve about these things. You're going to have option one where they're running simulation after simulation after simulation, and it's going to be able to run all these simulations and try to forecast kind of what the constraints of the project could look like in the future in these unknown frontier-like environments and situations. Yeah. And we should embrace it. We shouldn't put our heads in the sand and act like it's not happening. I think we need to understand it. We need to build with it. We need to adapt with it. Yeah. The same way that we adapted with calculators and AutoCAD and the internet and structural design analysis softwares and FEA and stuff like that. A losing tactic would be just to ignore it. Yeah. So I think the best way for us to handle that issue is to grow and build with it. There are many powerful features to this technology. Like neural networks and machine learning are powerful. They remember me better than I know myself. Seriously, if you think about your ChatGPT, all the questions that you ask it, I know. Do you remember every question?
Yeah, I know.
I don't. But it remembers every question. Yeah. So there are times your cell phone or your GPT knows you better than you, which is powerful. Yeah. A little scary. But,
terrifying.
but it does. Yeah. So is there a way that we could create a neural network that makes a really good engineering partner or a really good engineering team? Like we could have a team of agentic solutions where you have a bunch of interns that are doing little tasks for you throughout the day. I think that's very advantageous. The one issue that I'm worried about when I bring up the word crutch, my biggest concern is we lose this creative problem-solving muscle in our brain that we need to develop and have a very strong concept of when we're doing these types of high-end problem-solving designs. And AI is great when everything works within known data sets and within known standards and with known procedures. But what happens when you get off the reservation and you're no longer there? Do you have that problem-solving ability that you've been growing and cultivating, which for me, I've known engineers that have been working on this longer than I've been alive, and they're the smartest people to go ask really tough questions to because they have a very strong muscle for this kind of stuff. Yeah. And what I'm worried about is my generation, we're just going to lean on AI to do all this work. And then what happens when there's a problem and we're all kind of looking around and no one really knows the solution to this problem? Yeah. What is that mental framework that we have to come up with creative problem solving like concepts and ideas? And how do we vet those? And how do we have a competition of ideas so that we can get to the right thing to do? I think we should use AI. I really do. Big proponent of that. But I think at the same time, we cannot lose sight that it's really important to be as strong mentally when it comes to being creative, when it comes to problem solving, and really trying our best to balance the two. We really, really need to like understand what this technology is, and we need to start working with it, and we need to start understanding it better. So that way we don't look up in 20 years and no one's been talking about this or looking at this, but there's been a small faction of the industry that's all in, and they've really found the way to make something work where you give it architectural drawings and it spits out a full structural design set for you. And there's 2 or 3 engineers that understand what's happening and they feel comfortable signing and stealing it. I think we should try to learn and grow with it is my message at the end of the day. I don't think we should put our heads in the sand because so I have a friend and he's in this startup space and he runs a company and he does sentiment on Reddit. So he'll take a topic like Oreos on Reddit. And after Oreos goes and drops a commercial, he'll take the temperature in the room on Reddit the second after the commercial launches. And it gives you like, are people talking positively about my product, negatively about my product? Kind of gives you an idea of what's happening. Yeah. I asked him, hey, can you run this on civil engineering and AI? And right now what we're finding in all the different subreddits like our civil engineering, our project management, our structural engineering is sentiment's about 50-50. So there are some people that are very positively oriented towards it. And then there are other people that are very negatively oriented towards AI. For me, I think the burden of trust and proof is on the AI providers. I think that you need to go ahead and you need to build trust with the civil engineering, structural engineering community for them to really want to embrace your product. Is that going to stop certain people from using it and going all the way, like you said before, with it? No, it's not. But I think that's a major issue. with AI currently in civil engineering. I talk to a lot of civil engineers, and of the engineers that I talk to, maybe 75% of them don't use AI at all. Mm-hmm. Maybe 25% of them really do. And they use it for like brushing up on emails or using it for like deep research sometimes, which is very effective. But no one is practically using it for any sort of generative design or real submittal review tasks. And the future is there. It can be built. And I think we should try to build that path. But I think right now we might live in a little bit of a bubble because we're in it every day.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's here right now. But if you go to the average engineer or to the average person on site, are they really talking about it? Are they even using it? Or is it just something that's kind of out there in the void that they hear whispers of every once in a while? To me, it seems like the latter.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as imminent here as we make it feel. It feels to us sometimes being in the room and being in that space. But my warning is that exponential curves are very difficult for humans to perceive. We view time very linearly, and when technology starts growing exponentially, we lose track of how fast these things can grow and how fast they can learn and how good they can get very quickly. So I think we need to really worry about that and keep track of it.